The ban of TikTok in US is scheduled for January 19th. As I record this video, that's tomorrow, unless at the very last minute, President-elect Trump pulls a move. Who knows? There are earlier indication that he may be cooking something, but at this moment, nothing has been formally announced yet. What does this mean for the global African community, especially content creators of African descent or in the Black community overall? And mostly, should we be switching to RedNote?
Because as someone who is Black and lived in China and has spent a lot of time on Chinese social media, they don't like us. They don't want us on their Chinese social media, okay?
Unless you live in a cave, I'm sure by now you have heard of the massive migration of US users primarily from TikTok to RedNote. Let's hear what they are saying.
Well, the Chinese are so nice. They're so sweet and so welcoming. Like they're over here teaching us Mandarin.
Xianhong Su, also known as Little Red Book or RedNote, was founded in 2023 and has rapidly grown to become one of China's leading social networking and e-commerce platform. Often called China's answer to Instagram, the app has attracted millions of users, especially among younger audiences. 70% of its users are born after 1990, and nearly 70% are female. What started in 2013 as a shopping guide for Chinese tourists has now evolved into a dynamic platform where users share reviews, experiences, recommendations, influencing trends globally. With major investments from Alibaba and Tencent, RedNote has solidified its place in the digital landscape. Now, this app, some of what I just said prior, having used it now since yesterday, yes, it's definitely female dominated, and you can see that. And this is very important from the get-go as we talk about this, that content creators of African descent understand that there are some norms, what they consider beautiful in the Asian culture, Chinese culture. Their beauty standards is not nyash. Nyash, no, definitely not. Okay, they like women who are skinny. That's the hard truth. So forget about that. So this is important because as we post content, this app is not created with us in mind. And so keep those two questions. Should we be using this app, and what does it mean for us? So beauty standards, and you can already see most of them in the For You page. The beauty standard is not the same. We had made leeways on the regular apps. Instagram, I guess it's where I see that mostly, to a degree on TikTok. However, our presence, our visibility remains limited on those apps. And as you join RedNote, keep that in mind. And also keep in mind why this app was created. It's a very niche space for travel. There's a lot of food content. Having been on that app and being a tech co-founder, there's certain elements of the app that I like. It's not like entertainment, a lot of dancing videos, a lot of content that are not of high quality and value. That app, from joining it, the vibe is very different. Now, I'm not going to start saying what these people are saying.
I'm gonna learn Mandarin now. What has Facebook taught me?
I love.
I've always known about China's uniqueness and how certain cities, yes, are very well evolved. And I'm very surprised that some users from the US don't seem to know that. However, it goes without saying that this app is owned by a Chinese company and is following the CCPP laws. That's Chinese Community Party, for those who don't know what CPP stands for. and it's based in China. So the culture that we are going to see on this app is primarily going to be influenced by the majority, who are going to be of Chinese descent, because there are over 300 million of them. They are saying the migration is going to maybe produce hundreds of millions. There are 170 million regular users on TikTok. Are they all going to switch? I doubt. But where we as African descent community going to have that voice, for example, I doubt. For those of you who don't recall, during COVID, also Africans were blamed for what was happening, and some were denied homes. Take a listen.
African community has been the subject of conspiracy theories and misinformation that they are responsible for carrying COVID-19. Now, they're facing a wave of discrimination. Widely shared videos on social media and on WhatsApp appear to show discrimination towards China's African community. Arrests on the streets. A man claiming he was reported to the police for taking a bus, and the McDonald's in Guangzhou displaying a sign saying black people are not allowed to enter.
That's just 4 years ago, guys. Do you think 4 or 5 years ago, do you think that sentiment in some of the Chinese people have gone away? I doubt. And so as you join RedNote, be cognizant of that. However, I would like to propose a different alternative to this. I see a missed golden opportunity here. What do you mean? It seems that we people of African descent tend to be followers. I'm including myself. We tend to follow the trends. We were mostly, if we are from the continental Africa, except in Ethiopia, most of the countries in Africa were colonized. We have adopted Western lifestyle, Western names, you name it. What can we do? That's what happens. But in the current time, we still follow. I am a founder of a travel marketplace, and I have lived for the last 5 years challenges of showing that we are innovative beyond what everyone else is doing. In that world, I noticed a few things that most of the tech startup that we see focus on fintech. In fact, if you think of Flutterwave, if you think of Paystack, Flutterwave is based in Nigeria, Paystack is based in Nigeria. We tend to see a lot of huge startups that have made their way being of fintech is what we are hearing. Maybe we can have some agri-tech, but so far fintech is dominating, or e-commerce for some. And why haven't we built our own app like the one the Chinese have? I mean, we have the numbers. The global African diaspora is estimated at 350 millions, and ours will be unique because we have different languages. Imagine Brazil already is big on TikTok. Brazilians are really big, and they are over 100 million of a Brazilian descent, African descent, or in that country. And so that's the alternative I would like to see, because we will have Portuguese, we will have French, we will have English, even Kiswahili. Why not? Why we can have Kiswahili, we can have major languages from the continent of Africa that we speak. I know most of us, we are connected by languages that we inherited from the colonial era. I'm talking about English here and French. Don't be mad at me. That's the truth. That's the purpose of this channel. And so we need our own. And it's not to say that we are being exclusive, but it means we have the numbers, and just like the Chinese do, our own app will solve our own problem, and especially give the visibility we need with this app. But that being said, until we can build our own app, we will have to use other people's app, like we have Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. I also use LinkedIn, Facebook. I think there's a lot of people of African descent on Facebook. I have quite understood why it's quite popular among our community. Let me know in the comment if you're a Facebook user. And our Gen Zs are on TikTok, especially the Gen Zs. I am Gen X, and so that's the question I have. Why can't we build our own app like this, where our communities that I just mentioned can also gather and we can define, that's what happens, certain standards, whatever you were into. Beauty, health, travel, food. Imagine if you have an app which showcases African food, because there are some people who say that we don't have cuisine, that Africa, there is no specific cuisine on the continent of Africa. Yes, this is someone who said that from the US, actually, that spent time on the continent of Africa. And is also black, mind you. Imagine that. And you can see I'm showing you both sides. I'm not saying don't join. However, we have to think about these things. I think it's time that we are not followers. That time has to end. We also have to be innovators, be at the forefront of things, even if it comes with a lot of risk. And I speak from a place of experience as a founder building my travel niche. That's what I am into. If you ask why didn't you also build an app, actually mine have a similar element. It does have a similar element to connect the travelers, to find the tours, to discuss about different destinations. So I am already in that realm. I'm already doing that. It comes with its own challenge. You can go check it out. It's terrific.ca. Back to RedNote. I have used the app. There's certain things I like. If we have to use it as an alternative for now, unless TikTok is saved at the last minute, you never know. I'm reserved as to what may happen, because I mean, the CEO of TikTok has been invited to Trump's inauguration. So who knows? It's still an app that, wow, if they can make their case really well, yeah, they can keep it until they solve some internal concerns that they felt. Because the good thing about TikTok was that it allowed some voices, some issues that could not have been known to be out there. I do follow some great content creators. I follow some news, but also I built my community there for my business, for my travel business. And so it will be a loss not just for the Americans, but for us users, because the United States, it's a big market for most of us in business. At the beginning of this video, I asked two questions. Should we switch to RedNote, and what does it mean for the global African community? I would say yes, switch. I mean, not even switch, actually open an account. It will be just another social media, and it's going to connect with a new audience, primarily of China. But just know that the content they have is not what we were producing somewhere else. I just gave you an example. Their standards, this is their community. And sometimes we forget, because if you, after a while, if you don't see the response to be what you felt it should be, then don't feel bad, or don't start saying this is racism or whatever it is. It's different. It's different. If it's going to remain primarily an Asian dominated space, even though we form our own community, the algorithm is already built that it's going to push some content. And what you see and what you hear, don't feel offended, because that's what happens if you don't have your own. thing, then you go where everyone else is, but you have to, someone's house. This is not your house. Keep that in mind. Uh, what does it mean? I think at the end of the day, I would like to see us building our own social app like this one, where we are actually the dominant people on that app, right? Then we can start from our own culture. We can also be showing our food, our destinations. I also talk about Africa being more than safari. But guess what? I tend to be the only one who says that, at least publicly. You can go read in Forbes magazine. I have spoken about that in many other places in podcast. I think time is now. I think time is now. Most of us we like to talk and we don't do anything that follows. And in joining this new community, know that it's gonna be in Mandarin. It's gonna be in Mandarin. Wow, such a learning curve. And mostly, don't forget to join this channel. Actually, this is the idea. This is the step in the right direction. It's making sure that we are connecting from this point of view as well. So don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, and share. I read all comments, and I'll be responding to each comment because the community, you are important. One of my favorite artists like to say, "Sans vous, je suis zéro." Without you, I'm nothing, and I truly believe that. So yes, support this channel, help it grow. Watch all content, not just one or two videos. There's many other videos. Until next time, I will see you in the next video.